Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Saturday, October 29, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. I will be taking the Milwaukee Bucks -5 at home in this game. The Hawks have a ton of talent on their team, but they look disjointed in their last win against the Pistons. They will now struggle on the offensive end of the court, as Milwaukee has been one of the best defensive teams in the league to start the year. Milwaukee will lock up Trae Young and force the other Atlanta players to beat them. Atlanta is only scoring the 18th most points per game, and they have the 19th highest shooting percentage. They aren't going to get many open looks in this game either, as the Bucks are surrendering the least amount of points per game and forcing their opponents to have the lowest field goal shooting percentage. Milwaukee is still one of the best teams in the league, and Giannis will be able to carry his team to victory. He is scoring 36 points per game and grabbing 13 boards. He is getting the job done on both ends of the court, and this Atlanta team isn't playing well enough on either side of the ball to cover this spread. Atlanta struggled against Detroit earlier in the week, and the Bucks are playing great defense right now. Atlanta will struggle on the offensive end, and the Bucks will slowly pull away. Pick Milwaukee and lay the points, -5. Along with taking the Bucks, I like the under here, as with back-to-backs, the pace of play and tempo will likely be slower. As well, the starters likely won't play as many minutes as they usually do, which will also lead to fewer points scored here. So far, Atlanta is 2-2 in hitting the under, while Milwaukee is 2-1 in hitting the under to begin the year. In the Bucks' 3 games they are averaging 205.66 ppg, and Milwaukee plays at a pace of 101, which ranks 15th, while Atlanta plays at a pace of 104.1, which ranks 8th, yet on the back-to-back expect that to be slower, which is why I like the under here. Dallas Mavericks vs Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder, 2-3, 4-1 at TS, are searching for their 3rd consecutive victory. They've stunned the Clippers in their last 2 showings, outlasting LA 108-94 as 5.5-point home dogs and 118-110 as 7-point home dogs. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 33 points on the Clippers last Tuesday, and 2 days later, he had 24 points and 6 assists. The Thunder relied on their defense to upset the odds against the Clippers. They forced 19 turnovers on Tuesday and 20 on Thursday, while turning the ball over just 18 times over those 2 games. The Dallas Mavericks, 2-2, 3-1 at TS, closed down a 2-game road trip last Thursday, outlasting the Brooklyn Nets 129-125 in overtime. They bounced back from a surprising 113-111 defeat at the injury-depleted New Orleans Pelicans, and Luka Doncic led the way with his first triple-double of the season, finishing with 41 points, 11 rebounds, and 14 assists. The Mavs went 24-40 from beyond the arc at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and their second unit made 12 triples out of just 17 attempts from deep. The Oklahoma City Thunder started their season with 3 losses on the trot, but they are now aiming for a 3rd straight victory after outlasting the Clippers in a 118-110 home win on Thursday. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 24 points and 6 assists. Luguentz Dort added 21 points on 9 of 15 shooting, while Aleksej Pokusevski chipped in with 15 points, 6 rebounds and 3 assists off the bench. As a team, the Thunder shot 49% from the field and 17 of 38 from the 3-point line as they squandered an early 18-point first-quarter lead, but they adjusted at halftime and dominated the second half by 65-50 to escape with the 2nd win over the Clippers this season. 3 of Dallas's previous 4 games have been decided by 4 or fewer points. The other one saw the Mavs trounce Memphis 137-96, holding the Grizzlies to 43.0% shooting from the field and 27.3% from downtown. The Mavericks have plenty of room for improvement on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm expecting them to shut down the Thunder. Dallas shouldn't underestimate OKC, given the Thunder's victories over the Clippers. The Mavs offense is off to a red-hot start to the season, and Luka Doncic will dominate the Thunder on the home court. Dallas is 7-1 at TS in its previous 8 showings at American Airlines Center. Take the Dallas Mavericks -9 points. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavericks have split their first 4 games of the season, and they will be looking to build some momentum after beating the Nets in a 129-125 road win on Thursday. Luka Doncic led the way with a monster triple-double of 41 points, with 11 rebounds and 14 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr. added 18 points off the bench, while Maxi Kleber chipped in with 15 points on 4 of 5 shooting. As a team, the Mavericks shot 50% from the field and a healthy 20 of 40 from the three-point line as they let a lead slip in the fourth quarter to allow the Nets to force overtime, but they regrouped and dominated the overtime period to escape with a solid victory. Take over 218.5 points. Utah Jazz vs Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis comes in playing excellent basketball this week with 2 convincing wins, first over Brooklyn at home and then over Sacramento on the road. Barring a setback, Morant should be ready to go against the Jazz and should be a nightmare for the Jazz to match up with defensively. The Utah Jazz have come out of the gate strong this season, going 4-1 heading into this weekend's back-to-back games. On Friday night in Denver, the Jazz were blown out for the first time this season and lost their second game out of 3. Utah got off to a slow start, down by 10 points after 1 quarter and allowing 35 points. The Jazz never recovered and fell 117-101. They were led by Lauri Markkanen, who scored 17 points and played 26 minutes. No Jazz player played more than Markkanen's 26 minutes as they prepped for 2 games in 2 nights. The Jazz shot just 42% from the field and 25% from the 3PT line. Veteran Mike Conley can't stick with Morant, and that may result in a juggling of matchups to contain Morant. The Grizzlies are 6th in the NBA in 3PT field goal percentage, and the Jazz defense was exposed against Denver versus the 3PT shot as the Nuggets hit 8 3PT shots. Utah has surprisingly struggled ATS at home, going 1-5 at TS in their last 6 home games. Look for Bane to have another big night against a Jazz defense that struggles to contain 3PT shooters. Take the Grizzlies -6. The Jazz finds themselves inside the top 10 in PPG as they average 118.8 PPG this season. Their 95 FGA per game is the 4th highest mark in the NBA. Similar to Memphis, they are not taking as many good looks as they are shooting just 45.5% as a team that ranks 21st in the NBA, just behind the Grizzlies. They rank in the middle of the league in 3P% but are one of the worst free throw shooting teams. They rank 29th with a 70.6 FT% so far this season. Their defense has been okay this year as they are allowing 112.8 PPG, but they have done a nice job contesting shots and forcing bad looks as opponents are shooting just 44.3% against them. One premier match to watch in this one is the Jazz perimeter defense against the elite 3-point shooters of the Grizzlies. However, the Jazz allow 15.2 offensive rebounds per game, which are the most of any team. They also turn the ball over 16.6 times per game, which is the 2nd most in the NBA. Ja Morant is averaging 32.6 PPG this season, which leads his team and is the 4th best in the NBA. He is also averaging 4.4 RPG and 6.8 APG, which leads the team. Ja is ranked 3rd in the NBA with a player efficiency rating of 35.53. Sharpshooter Desmond Bane is 2nd on the team in PPG with 22.6, as well as APG with 5.6. Big man Steven Adams has also had a good start to his season as he leads the team with 10.2 RPG, which also ranks 11th in the NBA. He also leads the team with 1.6 blocks per game. Morant and Bane have been hot from deep as both are shooting over 46% from beyond the arc. Memphis was without SG John Concher on Thursday night against the Kings, and if he is absent for this one, that will make the Grizzlies thin at SG with Zaire Williams out for a while. Our total pick is 231.5 points.